Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our October 10th City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Board meeting. Why don't we all start with a flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's get things started. Mr. Chad Thompson, roll call.
Chair Ara Masurlian.
Here.
Vice Chair Ashley Ramsey.
Here.
Board Member Mickey DiPaolo.
Here.
Board Member Robbie Brody. Here. And Board Member Maisha Gamino, and we'll note the absence of Maisha Gamino. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. All right, I'd like to introduce Ms. Christina Romero for our announcements.
Good evening, Chair Ara Masurlian and members of the board. Thank you to everyone joining us this evening. My name is Christina Romero, clerical worker in the Parks and Recreation Department. Tonight, I have the pleasure of sharing the department's program announcements and updates. Please begin the slideshow. Haunted Adventure, Laboratory of Lost Souls. Join us this Halloween season for a thrilling journey through the Laboratory of Lost Souls at Starlight Labs, located in the Verdugo Hills. Starlight Lab was founded to unlock the secrets of the native diabolical ironclad beetles. However, a terrible accident during a significant breakthrough released mutated test subjects, causing chaos and terror for anyone who enters the aftermath. Watch out for eerie sounds and shadowy figures lurking around every corner. Will you make it out, or will you become the next soul trapped forever in the lab? Visit burbankparks.com to get your tickets today, if you dare. Floating Pumpkin Patch. Join Burbank Aquatics at the annual Floating Pumpkin Patch on October 19th. Enjoy Halloween activities, pumpkin harvesting, pumpkin decorating, games, and swimming. Reserve your spot today by visiting burbankparks.com. Halloween Skate Fest. Hey skaters, don't miss out on the spookiest event of the year on Saturday, October 26th. Join us for skate competitions, raffles, a costume contest, and a free barbecue. This event is open to all ages and skill levels and does not require advanced registration. For event details, visit burbankca.gov/skatepark. Little Pumpkin Top Party. Come and join the fun at the Little Pumpkin Top Party. The indoor costume party is ideal for children ages 2 to 5, featuring carnival games, activities, and crafts. Advanced registration for this event is required, and spots go fast. Register today at burbankparks.com. Halloween Carnival. Get ready to put your luck and skills to the test at the Halloween Carnival. Children between the ages of 3 and 11 are invited to play games and collect prizes. Don't forget to wear your best costume and get ready to have a great time. Advanced registration is required. Visit burbankparks.com to register today. Kitten Adoption Fair. Visit the Burbank Animal Shelter at 1150 North Victory Place during our kitten fairs to meet adorable kittens in the shelter's foster program. Adopt your next best friend and learn more about fostering. You won't want to miss the perfect opportunity. Upcoming fairs will be held on Saturday, October 12th and 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Community Arts Grant. The City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Department and the Burbank Cultural Arts Commission are pleased to announce the second funding cycle for the Community Arts Grant Program. The purpose of this program is to support local artists and art organizations and to engage Burbank residents with diverse and outstanding cultural arts projects. To learn more about this program and to apply, please visit burbankca.gov/community arts grant. Applications are currently open and will close on November 19th. Vaporized PSA. The Parks and Recreation Department, partnering with the Youth Board, presents Vaporized, an anti-vaping public service announcement. Through a grant from the California Department of Justice Tobacco Grant Program, this PSA aims to raise awareness among Burbank youth of the harms associated with vaping and other tobacco products. To view the video, please scan the QR code on the screen or visit burbankca.gov/youthboard. RISE. Are you ready to rise to the occasion, Burbank? The RISE program is now accepting applications for the class of 2025. RISE is a 9-week leadership program that aims to inspire and empower Burbank residents and broaden their understanding of the city and its resources. If you are interested in learning more about this program, please visit burbankca.gov/RISE. The application is open now and closes on Friday, October 25th, 2024. Story Owl Hour. Join us for the next Story Owl Hour at Stow Canyon Nature Center. Children ages 2 to 5 will be owl ears at this month's nature-related story time. Participants will enjoy a staff-led story and the opportunity to check out books from a Burbank Library staff member. To register for the October 24th story time, visit burbankparks.com. Burbank Animal Shelter Spay and Neuter Program. The Burbank Animal Shelter now offers a spay-neuter rebate program which aims to promote responsible pet ownership and provide financial relief to pet owners. The program provides a $100 rebate for dogs and a $50 rebate for cats that had been altered no more than 60 days before applying for the rebate. These rebates are available to Burbank residents. Residents only with proof of residency required for up to 2 pets per household while funds last. Pick up an application at the animal shelter at 1150 North Victory Place or online at burbankanimalshelter.org. Wild Creatures Walk. Don't miss out on our exciting Wild Creatures Walk and the perfect opportunity for your little ones to have fun while learning about wildlife in the Verdugo Mountains. Everyone is welcome. Visit burbankparks.com to get all the details and sign up. Thank you. This concludes the department announcements.
Thank you, Christina. As you can see, we've got a full slate of events happening in October. Personally, I would highly recommend the Haunted Adventure at Starlight Bowl. We went last year. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So for adults, teens, kids, everyone. So definitely recommend that. And also the floating pumpkin patch is also fun, especially if you have young children. They'll get a real kick out of it. So lots going on. So thank you for that. Next up, I'd like to introduce Ms. Erin Barrows, who has a special presentation for us.
Good evening, Chair Masurlian and members of the board. My name is Erin Barrows. I'm Recreation Services Manager for the Parks and Recreation Department. At this time, Chair Masurlian, I'd like to invite you down to the podium with me, please. Thank you. This evening, we would like to recognize some very special volunteers that have been of service to the city of Burbank for over 25 years. If you attended a Parks and Recreation event, you are sure to have seen them. I am referring to the Disney Volunteers from the Walt Disney Company. The Volunteers is a charitable organization made up of Disney cast members who donate their time to helping charities and service organizations in their communities around the world. It is part of the Disney Worldwide Outreach Program. We would like to express our sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Disney Volunteers as we recognize them for the ongoing commitment to the City of Burbank community. The Disney Volunteers have donated countless hours to many Burbank community events, such as the Starlight Bowl Summer Concert Series, Mayor's Tree Lighting, Breakfast with Santa, Extravaganza, and Halloween Carnival. The dedication and enthusiasm of the Disney Volunteers at these events help our department tremendously in providing successful programs and events to the community. For that, we are truly thankful to the Walt Disney Company and the Disney Volunteers for their support of the City of Burbank. It is a delight to work with them, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with them for many years to come. At this time, I would like to invite all the Disney Volunteers in attendance to the front, please. And accepting the certificate on behalf of the Disney Volunteers is Hera Malilo. Hera is the ongoing project leader for Starlight Bowl, Extravaganza, and Mayor's Tree Lighting.
Come on, let's take a picture of the board. Let's go. Thank you guys for your time.
You're welcome, thank you.
None of these events would happen without your guys' help. Come on in, we're gonna get our board, so we get a nice family picture here.
You guys are too amazing, I went in.
Yeah, we need Nikki in the picture. Yep.
Come on, let's come on
You
in.
gonna get in with us? You guys, all three of you. Chris. It started way back then. One more round, you, Chris. And then-
This way? Let's go left. Are we good?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. And good. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Congrats, you guys are awesome. Parks and Rec Watcher, hey, remember me? Your bus buddy? What's going on?
Thank you for that special presentation. It's volunteers like that that make these events happen and go. So again, I want to thank them, the volunteers, for helping us out. Next up is our department director report. I'd like to introduce Ms. Grace Coronado.
Thank you. Good evening, Park Board. This evening, Ms. Garcia and Mr. Cevallos, one of our assistant directors, are unable to be here. They are at a conference, but they wish they were here. So in their place, I'd just like to mention that there is no department director update for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to public comment. Now is the time for general public comment. For members of the public who are here in person and wish to speak, please present a completed yellow general public comment card to the recording secretary. Any person speaking during general public comment may address the board on any matter related to the Parks and Recreation Board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. In order to promote fairness, please stay within your maximum allotted time of 3 minutes. A timer is available on the podium to help the speaker keep track of how much time is left. Please state your name for the record. I also encourage you to call in during the general public comment period at 818-238-3335. Callers will be placed in a queue until all in-person comments have been received. For callers, please remember to lower the volume on your TV or computer and take your phone off speaker when you deliver your public comment. At this time, we will begin with in-person comments. The first speaker card I have is for a good friend of the board here, Mr. Eric Hawk.
Okay. Well, hey, and good evening to the members of the Parks and Rec Board, to the wonderful staff, and others who've taken time out of their day to participate in tonight's meeting. First of all, a big thank you to this board. I do, and the band appreciates the support that this board has provided for the work that our little volunteer group here in Burbank has done. In just a couple of weeks, the Burbank Band will have its first concert of the 2024-2025 season, our Halloween concert. This will be on Saturday, October the 26th at 5 p.m., and this will be at the First Christian Church of Burbank at 221 South 6th Street. This is going to be the second annual Halloween concert, and among some of the pieces we'll be featuring will be Edvard Grieg's March of the Trolls, Puccini's La Tragedia, which I just love saying, and also feature songs from screen and stage, from Harry Potter to from Wicked, the Broadway production of Wicked, as well as Tim Burton features from Nightmare Before Christmas, as well as Beetlejuice. And this will be a free concert, and to further celebrate the season, we're going to have a costume contest for adults who show up in costume, as well as children who attend in costume as well. And with respect to this concert, I'm also very happy to say this concert is being made possible by the generous support of the Burbank Arts Grant. So thank you very much for that. Moving right closely on, right after that, almost as quick as I went from one flyer to the next, there will be a pair of patriotic performances just ahead of and on Veterans Day. On Monday, November the 11th at 10:15, the Burbank Community Band will be performing ahead of the city's Veterans Day ceremony at McCambridge Park. There'll be some wonderful pieces that we've been working on and will be performing, including America the Beautiful and this great piece called Missing Man. And also, we have a very unique opportunity for a fundraiser. The band, the Friday before on November 8th, and big thanks to board member DePaulo, the band has been invited to and been allowed to perform at the VFW here in Burbank at 1006 Magnolia Boulevard in Burbank. And this will be a really special experience because many of you have probably been to a cafe or a coffee shop that has a guitarist or a bass player, and this will have much the same at the VFW. It'll have sort of a bar and a pool table, and then it'll have 50 musicians performing all of these pieces. So it'll be really neat and just a great experience. So again, that one is on Friday, November the 8th at 10:30 in the morning at the VFW in Burbank at 1006 Magnolia. And finally, thank you very much. And I have flyers that I will hand to the state clerk here, sir. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. All right. Seeing we have no other in-person comments, I'll turn to Megan Wilkie to see if we have any callers.
We have no callers.
Fantastic. Seeing we have no other speakers, we will now close the public comment period. And I'd like to call upon my board members for any response to public comment. Mr. DiPaolo.
Thank you, Chairman Serlian. Thank you, Eric, for being here tonight. And thanks to the Disney volunteers. They have been volunteering since the 80s, late 80s, all through the 90s. They've been a consistent supporter of all our activities. The Run for the Hungry several years ago, and of course the Bowl. And they're invaluable to the success of what our department does as far as the Starlight Bowl and special events go, the Halloween, everything. And that just, volunteers, our programs wouldn't work without the great volunteers that we have in sports programs and everything. So our success is based on how many really good volunteers we have, and we're blessed to have that. And the Burbank Community Band we've been doing the Veterans Day ceremonies and Memorial Day ceremonies at McCambridge Park since 1988, and they were involved way back then. It used to be called the Lockheed Band back in the day, and now it's a Burbank Community Band. But wonderful, patriotic people on that in that band. And if you're not doing anything on that Friday prior to Veterans Day, they came last year and gave a wonderful preview of what we're going to have on Memorial Day. And it was really nice, and we have coffee and pastry and everything for people who want to come in and enjoy it. So everybody's welcome. It's 1006 West Magnolia if you want to get a preview of the Veterans Day. But thank you again for being here tonight, Eric. Okay, thank you.
All right. Seeing we have no other response to public comment, Ms. Coronado, do we have any written communications?
There is no written communication.
Do we have any other park board comments about anything? Oh, we're good? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to new business. We've got a couple of annual reports to discuss tonight. So first, I'd like to introduce Ms. Erin Barrows back up for the Starlight Bowl annual report.
So I'll be speaking for our team here. Good evening, Chair Serlian and members of the board. My name is Bryce Burton, and I'm a Recreation Supervisor for the Betsy Lukey Creative Arts Center and Starlight Bowl. Tonight, Senior Recreation Leader Cody McKenna and I will be reporting on our extremely busy but very exciting 2024 Starlight Bowl summer concert season. We will provide you with key highlights on city concerts, special engagements, marketing efforts, operations, sponsorship, financial totals, and a quick glance on the future of the bowl. All right. The Parks and Recreation summer season started off with a bang with our annual 4th of July celebration. The evening began with the national anthem performed by recent John Burroughs High School graduate Cruz Martin, a special flyover from the Condor Squadron, and ended with an amazing firework display. I also want to shout out board member Mickey DiPaolo for helping us out pass out flags again this year. We love having you out there with us. Following the 4th of July, the Starlight Bowl held 5 additional Parks and Recreation concerts on Saturday evenings between July 13th and August 24th. The Starlight Bowl welcomed tributes from bands such as Billy Nation, the Fab Four, DSB, Taylor Nation Tribute, which was a hit this year, and of course fan favorites Yachtly Crew, just to name a few. To broaden and diversify community concerts, the department continued to offer private rentals this summer. This year, LA Concert Group was scheduled to produce 2 additional events featuring a globally known artist, Thomas Anders of Modern Talking. The concerts were well received by the community and patrons. A total of $30,000 was generated in rental revenue for the city from those 2 shows. LA Concert Group rented the Starlight Bowl at a flat rate of $15,000 per show and paid city expenses such as Burbank Police Department, Burbank Fire Department, and city's senior disabled transportation services, and minimal department staffing. In addition, LA Concert Group was required to use the same vendors as the city, such as traffic control, parking, custodial services, to ensure efficiency and consistency for concert goers. The promoters provided talent, ticketing, production, required music licensing, insurance, promotions, private security, concessions, and any other ancillary expenses directly related to their shows. In return, they retained all ticket and parking revenue. The expanded 2024 season proved to be successful. LA Concert Group was able to introduce the Starlight Bowl to patrons who were otherwise not familiar with the venue. The city did not receive any complaints from the surrounding community regarding noise or traffic on the hillside, which is great. In partnership with LA Concert Group, staff worked closely with 5D Spectrum to help promote and market all the concerts this season. The Starlight Bowl's website was revamped with a new look this past year and layout in an effort to make it more inviting and user-friendly. The Summer Department Recreation Guide provided the concert lineup on the back of the cover. 8 bus shelter ads were rotated throughout the city during the concert season. Staff attended community events to promote upcoming summer contents, to grow the brand, and increase exposure of the venue. Concert brochures and posters highlighting the season were distributed to local businesses throughout Starlight. Distributed to local businesses. They were placed throughout the Starlight Bowl venue. They were placed at our summer day camps, city pools, and of course various city facilities. 5D Spectrum sent weekly emails to subscribers, along with posting upcoming concerts on websites and social media pages respectively. The Starlight Bowl's Facebook and Instagram pages were continuously used as an advertising and communication tool as well. For the 2024 season, the Starlight Bowl welcomed back Cafe Corner Bistro, our friends, once again as the official food and beverage concessionaire. This continued to be a great partnership as city staff worked very closely with the management of Cafe Corner Bistro to prepare for the season, forecast attendance, and manage artists, hospitality, and staff meals for each concert. They also continued to collaborate with the Recycle Center to limit waste within their operations during the season and support our efforts in working toward a zero waste venue. Cafe Corner Bistro was also the concessionaire for all of our special engagement events. The continued practice of not allowing alcohol into the venue for special engagement concerts resulted in Cafe Corner Bistro significantly increasing alcohol inventory and sales. They agreed to pay the city 5% of revenue. Sales revenue after tax and credit card fees are deducted if applicable, that was earned from the sale of alcohol. This accounted for an additional $3,063 in revenue for the city. Cafe Corner Bistro was also contracted to compensate the private promoter 5% earned from the sale of alcohol from their special engagement nights. As always, the safety of everyone associated with a large-scale public event is a top priority. The BPD provided traffic control and security oversight within the venue. Allied Universal Security also provided security personnel to monitor the seating areas as well as the stage and backstage access points. We continued the key operational enhancement of bag and cooler checks for prohibited items such as weapons and hard alcohol. With this combination of security and the Burbank Police Department, the 2024 season continued to focus on ensuring the safety of all involved. The Burbank Fire Department's nightly presence ensured all medical, structural, and group safety concerns were addressed as needed in a timely manner, especially on the 4th of July. The fire department was able to drive a compact auxiliary vehicle directly into the venue, allowing emergency equipment available immediately if necessary. I'm happy to report that we didn't experience any major incidents, and we were successful in providing a safe place for the community to come and enjoy themselves. I'm going to now turn over the microphone to Cody so that he can continue discussing all the wonderful things that took place at the Bowl this summer. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. Environmental awareness continued to be a top priority this season throughout the venue. For a 7th consecutive year, we worked with Recycled Movie to oversee the zero waste efforts we've put forth. Recycled Movie provided staff for all 6 city concerts as well as the 2 private events to help guide patrons at each zero waste station, and they work closely with staff from both Parks and Recreation and the Recycle Center to incorporate new strategies aimed to increase the awareness of the zero waste campaign. Recycled Movie provided a sufficient amount of staff for each event, greeting and assisting patrons throughout the venue at waste stations, as well as sorting and weighing at the end of each concert. As in years past, Starlight Bowl has benefited greatly from strong collaborations with key organizational personnel, both internally and externally. Starlight Bowl is a collective effort, not only within the Parks and Recreation Department, but it is safe to say that nearly every department within the city adds valuable support and contribution in one form or another, which is key to the operational success, and we are extremely grateful for that. Additionally, I'd like to highlight a couple of programs that provide vital hours of prep and support at the venue. The first being the Summer Trails Enrichment Program, a youth employment program of the Management Services Department, who do so much behind the scenes during the week by prepping and cleaning in the days leading up to an event. The other being our friends at the Walt Disney Company and their volunteer program. The Disney volunteers provide 10 to 12 members each concert, assisting in greeting and ushering patrons, ticket scanning. They collect surveys, and they're passing out promotional items of information, so we're very appreciative of them as well. Our corporate sponsorship program experienced another successful year. Funds from this program help offset a portion of the cost of entertainment, marketing, and supplies for summer season operations. The program offered 6 levels of support, with each level containing different benefits. 4th of July presenting sponsors pledging $7,500, platinum sponsors at $5,000, gold sponsors at $2,500, and silver sponsors at $1,000. Additionally, we had media sponsors and Starlight contributors. We're very grateful for the support of Burbank Water and Power, Warner Brothers Discovery, and the Walt Disney Company, who are our platinum sponsors. Gain Federal Credit Union, Brett Dosher with BD Financial as gold sponsors, and Comprehensive Financial Services as a silver sponsor. Starlight contributors and media sponsors included the Burbank Recycle Center, Bradcorp Real Estate Group, and High Voltage Entertainment, as well as NoHo Arts District. The corporate sponsorship program provided a great opportunity for businesses and community organizations to support this year's Starlight Bowl summer concert season. Sponsors were offered a wide range of recognition opportunities throughout the season. The grand total sponsorship support for the 2024 season is $23,500. If you look at the PowerPoint here, as the table on top shows, a total of $315,896.20 was spent to operationally run this last concert season, while revenues from ticket sales, parking, and merchandise came in at $374,867. With the additional $61,000 combined revenues of sponsorships and private rentals, the total end-of-season profit came in at $119,970.80. And then if we look again, as you can see, the top table charts the attendance of the season by event as well as an overall total. The 2 special engagement shows, we only had 2 special engagement shows, brought in an additional 16,117 concert goers to the Starlight Bowl. As we look to the future, it is evident the Starlight Bowl infrastructure is in need of improvements. Parks and Recreation staff has worked with Lair Architects LA to develop a visual rendering of a proposed newly designed venue. During the fiscal year 24-25 budget process, a capital improvement project was submitted for approval to provide extensive community outreach efforts on the redesign and to hire consultants in arts management, traffic management, and community outreach. This phase will include Stratoscope, conducting engagement with Burbank stakeholders at community events and activities throughout Burbank hosting community meetings and workshops, conducting neighbor engagement, both with defined blocks adjacent to the venue and throughout the city, making presentations, and the support of creating a dedicated website with interactive functionality to collect emails, contact information, etc. We're very excited about this project and look forward to the feedback we'll receive from Burbank's community members. The Starlight Bowl's management team remained focused on providing high-quality live entertainment for Burbank residents in its latest summer concert series. 2024 brought about additional programming, which made it particularly fun and exciting, which made it a particularly fun and exciting season to be part of. We feel 2024 not only brought about a successful season for our venue, but it's positioned us for an exciting and successful future as well. This concludes our report. Bryce, myself, and our team would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. A lot of details.
Thank you.
Looks like a very successful 2024 season. I'll save my comments, questions for last, but I'll open up to our board. Ms. Ramsey.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all the details. I just had two questions, numbers that caught my eye. I was curious about the merchandise and the private rental. I just noticed the numbers decreased quite a bit. Is there any specific reason for that, do you think, or?
For private rentals, we ended up having only 2 private rentals this year, whereas last year we had 6 shows. So, yeah, that's where that would have come from.
Okay.
And then in regards to merchandise, especially with working with a lot of artists, we're obviously liaisons for the Cultural Arts Commission. While it is it could be revenue for the city, we didn't necessarily want to take money away from the artists that they were making themselves. As you mentioned, we did decrease from 6 to 2. It is our goal to increase this upcoming year. We had a couple other opportunities that we thought might take place, but unfortunately ended up not happening. But yes, that's a great way to increase revenue for our department, and we're looking to increase in this next year.
I mean, still very successful, so. Thank you.
Mickey?
Well, I think Chris has a...
Good evening, Kristen Smith, Assistant Director at the Parks and Recreation Department. I just wanted to add in about the merchandise. So that is an item, that's a line item where if bands have merchandise to sell, we will keep, based on how we negotiate the contract, if we take a portion of their proceeds. But some bands don't have items to sell, or it becomes part of the negotiations of whether or not that's going to be included. So.
Thank you, Chair. Well, I'm a newbie. This is my very first meeting and my very first real professional presentation. So thank you very much. That was awesome, excellent. I'm a fan, and it was great to see behind the scenes, and I'm looking forward to more. So thanks, both of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing you out there rocking out with us next year.
Okay. Chad, are we in? Think so. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
I was just going to say, I went to Yachtly Crew, and that place was crazy. It was like jam-packed, and I was not wearing the blue jacket or the white hat, but I was definitely enjoying it. And I purposely, when I went there, I was like, every step from the moment I kind of went there up the hill to when I left, I was kind of just observing, just looking for things. And honestly, I didn't really see anything that stood out that I was like, oh, that should change. Like, just from, it was really easy to get in for the most part. Smooth with security, bag checking. I mean, it was just, seats, bathroom lines. I mean, everything was just so simple. A lot of security. I felt very safe. So it was just, it was just a really fun, enjoyable experience. Got to take our, our food and some drinks, and it just was perfect. So, you guys are obviously doing a great job over there. So that's, those are my comments. I had one question, and maybe it's a silly question, maybe not, I'm not sure. As you guys are looking at the redesign, would you guys look at seats versus benches, or was there a specific purpose for benching versus seating? I personally don't care, but just maybe it's a question people might care or think about. Like, is seating, would that just be more expensive? Like, or is just benching is just easier? Just curious if that's something to think about.
Well, I mean, that's a great question. I think when looking at individual seats versus bench seating, I think that with bench seating, you might be able to get an increased capacity. In terms of cost, I imagine it's also cheaper as well. Looking ahead, do you want to speak to what the design, what they're thinking about?
Happy to, thank you. So the team has been working with Lair Architects on a conceptual rendering of a completely transformed Starlight Bowl. And that will be part of our community outreach in this next year, is coming to different boards in the community and showing what that new venue looks like. I will tell you that it is a combination of box seats, bench seating, which could be individual seats, it's not into that kind of detail yet, and also the lawn area, because I think that preserving those different areas is really important, and it's what our community has voiced that they really enjoy. Actually, it includes additional box seats, because we know that those are highly sought after, so a little bit of everything.
No, I like that. The bench seats, are great, but I'm sure in box seats, obviously, you go to the Hollywood Bowl, you see that. So what's cool about it is it offers people the option to purchase at the price point they feel comfortable with. So if you want something, hey, I got some money, I want to be comfortable, I'm going to get some nice seats. If I got a group and we want to spend a little more money, we're going to get the box seats. If I just want to sit down on a bench, I don't care. Or if I just want to go sit on the lawn. So I like that kind of tiered type of opportunity. Obviously, it depends on what the architects come up with and costs and whatnot. But I like tiering opportunities because it could give people different options and different revenue points. So just something to think about. I'm sure you are, but just want to point that out.
Oh, that's a great point. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
I want to thank the entire staff, and then combining with all the other departments within the city and really making this venue work. It is an old facility, and it needs a lot of work, but I think that the city and our department has really made it happen up there by coming together and presenting these wonderful concerts in a safe, very clean venue. I like the recycling idea. When I was up there on the 4th of July, it was very clean up there, very little stuff thrown on the ground or anything else, and I think that was great. And the staff was all, you guys have it really made the way you are organized, and you're at this, everybody's in the right place at the right time and helping others. It was really packed on the 4th of July, so it was a little slow coming in, but I would rather have that and have good security than to hustle people through. So I thought, and that's not a glitch in my opinion. I think it's doing what in this day and time is needed. But I just want to congratulate, throughout the years, I don't think that the city, and especially our Park and Recreation Department, doesn't settle for mediocrity. I think they try to make it better every year, and I think they do that. And I just want to, 4th of July was great. Everybody was happy. They're looking forward to the season. And it's not only the Burbank residents, I have friends that live out in the valley. I have friends that live down on the west side that come to these because they enjoy it. And they feel that, number one, the price is very reasonable, and with some great groups showing up there. So congratulations, all of you, on a really great season.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. We are lucky to have a great team that's been together for a few summers now, and so some of these points that you've made, we've learned our lessons through each show, and we've figured out how to get through those glitches and improve. I know that early on in the season we had a longer line to start, and we figured out how to move everybody up, a little bit, so we can, in terms of time, so we can make sure the openers are going on when they're supposed to, and everyone, doesn't miss any part of the show. And then to your point, Chair Mercelian, customer service is what means most to us. I think not just our team, but everyone in our department. So to hear that, everything was going on without a hitch means a lot to us. We pay attention to those small details, and if you guys see those details that need to be looked upon, we're ready to fix them, and we can't do it ourselves. Like you mentioned, our landscaping crew works tirelessly throughout the week. I mean, that is a huge venue, and just after a day or two, the place is covered in dust and leaves, spider webs, and they go above and beyond to make sure it's looking great for us. The recycled movie set who stay till almost midnight to sort recycling at the end of the night is a lot on them, and but we put on a great show for our community, and that's what means most to us. So thank you guys for those kind comments.
Thank you. I have one last question that just came to my mind. So
Sure.
apologies for keeping you up there, but so I looked in your presentation. You showed some attendance numbers, and there were like 2 or 3 shows that were like looked like capacity well over 3,000, and there were a few shows that were like in the thousands, 1,800, 1,700, somewhere around there.
Sure.
So when you guys look at programming for the following year, do you look at the attendance and go, maybe that wasn't the best pick of a show, maybe we should look at a different genre or different, like, how do you, I don't need you to give me the whole spiel, but like what goes into just a very high level into like selecting the programming? Is it historic data on the types of genres that work in the city? Like what goes into that?
100%. And we like to listen to our community members too. So if you look at the numbers, our country-related show was on the lower side compared to our Yachtly Cruise show, which was sold out. And that was something that we've heard from the public, you know, like, hey, we haven't had any country artists in years, you know, could we get that, you know, that genre in our lineup? And so we went that route, and unfortunately it didn't sell as many tickets as we like. We try to change it up from year to year. We bring back some of our fan favorites like Yachtly Crew and Fab Four, but we want to mix it up. So this year, you know, when we're thinking about who we think the community will like, Taylor Swift, of course, is in the news every day. So of course we had to have a Taylor Swift tribute. So we try to mix it up. I know that we also rely on our private rental groups to bring in to make our lineup more diverse. I know this year we didn't have a Hispanic group, but we did last year, and we, you know, would love to bring them back again. We had a very European show with the Thomas Andrews group. So we try to, you know, hit all genres. And with, of course, looking at what has been successful in the past.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you have requests, let us know. We'd love to hear.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. All right, moving on to our last piece of new business, I'd like to introduce Ms. Dina Moon for our DeBell Golf Course Annual Report.
All right. Good evening, Chairmember Masurlian and members of the board. My name is Dina Moon, Senior Administrative Analyst with the Parks and Recreation Department. There we go. Tonight, along with Sean White, General Manager of the DeBell Golf Course, we'll be presenting the DeBell Golf Course Annual Report for fiscal year 2023-24. On December 12, 2018, the city entered into an agreement with Touchstone Golf to manage the golf course operations. As outlined in the agreement, the city pays Touchstone a monthly management fee of $8,000 to oversee golf operations, maintenance, food and beverage operations, private events, and tournament programming. The city receives all the city receives all revenues from these operations. Notably, the initial agreement term was 5 years and 6 months, with one option for a 5-year extension. The extension was executed on May 31st this past year, which extended the term through June 30, 2029. Tonight's presentation will focus on golf operations, rounds of play, golf course maintenance, golf instruction, capital improvement projects, marketing, food and beverage operations, private events and tournaments, and revenue highlights. Overall, Touchstone continues to be a great partner and continues to leverage their expertise in implementing improvements throughout the golf course, including staffing, equipment, operations, and customer service. The city continues to receive positive feedback regarding the maintenance and aesthetics of the golf course, the Hilltop Restaurant, as well as the most recent completion of all fairway bunker renovations and the multi-use room utilized by special events and the Ladies Golf Club members, all enhancing the overall customer experience. Golf continues to be a popular sport. There was an overall increase of rounds of play this past fiscal year, just over 7%, specifically at the 18-hole and par 3 courses. Due to heavy storms back in 2023, there was some slope damage to the course, which started on hole 8, moved down and damaging hole 2 and hole 3 just below. This project was impacted more initially anticipated once the hillside vegetation was removed. As you can see by the slide, the slope has been repaired and this project was completed this past July. Now I'd like to introduce Sean White, General Manager of the DeBell Golf Course, to go over the highlights for fiscal year 23-24.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. Thank you. So we will go over some of the highlights for this past fiscal year. So starting off, we'll talk about some of the capital improvement projects. So Dina touched on the initial topic of these. So first, the bunkers, fairway bunkers. If any of you have played DeBell before, the previous year we worked on all the greenside bunkers, had those reshaped with new pro sand added. This past fiscal year we were able to complete all fairway bunkers in the same fashion. So now all bunkers on the course have been redone, reshaped, and new sand in them. So it's much more aesthetically pleasing and much more playable for the golfers. We have also been working on increasing the netting and protection along the course. So on hole number 7, specifically, we have increased the netting and put new netting up. We still have a few sections of the course that we have netting for that we are working on getting those up as well. So the multi-purpose room behind the women's restroom, this was generally used kind of just as a storage room in the past. For certain events, we would clear it out and use it for a bridal suite of sorts. We were able to clear out what was in there before, and we have revamped it. So we have added a new vanity, new seating and tables. We put up a wall of mirrors with a pedestal for brides to be able to use. Along with that, we have added some new cabineting for the clubs to use, as well as reorganize and rearrange some of their plaques throughout. Because of the new renovations, we will not be using this as a storage room anymore, so we can make sure that it stays in the best condition it can for these private events and our club. One thing that has been worked on throughout the year and more recently completed is the tee box improvements. So if you go out and play DeBell now, you'll notice that there are multiple tee boxes that are completely redone, re-leveled with new sod on them, most notably holes 2, 3, 5, 12, 16, and 18. So this not only improves playability, but again, along with the bunkers, the aesthetic of the course is much better. Moving along to marketing and promotions. So our Director of Sales, Beth Byron, along with her Sales Coordinator, Kiana Martinez, and Food and Beverage Director, Ariana Myers, they have been working with local businesses and schools to promote and market the golf course for all sorts of different kinds of events. This includes anything from celebration of life to birthday parties, weddings, and baby and bridal showers. They have utilized social media and email as well to market and promote throughout the community. Our food and beverage operations. So at the beginning of the fiscal year, we promoted our then banquet captain, Ariana Myers, to our food and beverage director. Over the past year, she has done a great job with increasing staff, increasing the banquet staff specifically for the needs of all the special events that we hold at DeBell. Along with that, she has been working with Chef to revamp the menu. If you guys were out there before, the menu is quite large, and she's done a great job of narrowing that down to more specific items that are popular among the community, as well as items that herself and Chef have been working on. So the community events and tournaments that DeBell holds, We do multiple holiday events throughout the year. Boo at the Bell, Brunch with Santa, Easter, all these are great community events to get everybody involved. Plenty of people who live in the community unfortunately don't know that we're up here. So having these type of events and promoting them really brings a new clientele up to the course who may not have known that it was there before. As you can see with Easter and Mother's Day, those are our two largest events. We do 2 seatings for those. So with Easter, last year we had 231 guests, and Mother's Day we had 285. So we're really filling out the capacity of the restaurant for both seatings. And again, all the events that we hold here are very popular among the community, and we see a lot of familiar faces when we hold those. So again, Mother's Day brunch, the team loves to do a great job of decorating and setting up the event space in the main restaurant. So we'll just go through some of the more events. Boo at the Bell, so it's our Halloween event that we hold. We have events, or we have activities for the children. Last year we did magicians, and they made slime, so it was a great time. They had a blast. We had a lot of wind that day, so we had to kind of cram people in because we couldn't use the patio, but it worked out great, and this year we're hoping for a similar turnout. Thanksgiving Day tournament, so on certain days of the year we'll close early and we'll hold a shotgun or split tee depending on what the turnout looks like. So Thanksgiving we did a split tee, that way we can get a majority of golfers out. We'll close early and everybody can get home to their families and enjoy a nice Thanksgiving dinner in the evening. And then Brunch with Santa, another very popular event that we hold. We'll have Santa, one of his elves will come out. Kids can tell him what they want for Christmas, have a nice brunch with their family, and it's a great time for everybody. Some of the tournaments we hold not only are private tournaments that book through us, but we also do plenty of community events like that turkey tournament. This past year we did a 9-hole Shamrock shotgun. So we had fewer than we were hoping for this one, but moving forward, as long as we keep promoting and marketing like our team has been doing a great job of, we hope to see a rise in numbers for all these events. Again, the Santa split tee, very similar to Thanksgiving. We want to get families in, play golf nice and early on Christmas Eve so they can get home and enjoy the holiday. And then 4th of July, we remain open for part of the day, same thing, get everybody going, and then that way they can get over to Starlight Bowl and enjoy the celebration over there. So the Touchstone Golf Foundation is our charitable program here with Touchstone. This past fiscal year, we were able to raise and donate $4,427 to the John Burroughs and Burbank high schools. And since 2019, when Touchstone took over, we have raised over $25,000 for charities in high schools. The way we raise money for these are things like raffles. So Callaway, TaylorMade, some of the other vendors will donate a driver or wedge that we're able to raffle off in the pro shop, or we'll do events like Hit the Green, where we'll sell sleeve of balls. If you hit the green, they donate the money and it goes towards the charity or high school depending on what day we're doing the event for. And now I'll pass it back over to Dina Moon.
Thank you, Sean. All right, I'd like to highlight DeBell's consistent performance and revenue for fiscal year 23-24. Notably, there was an 8% increase to driving range sales, as well as an increase of just over 7% to greens fees. Expenditures came in slightly higher this year when compared to fiscal year 22-23, just under 3%. There are several cost drivers that contributed, which include minimum wage increases, additional staffing at special events and the driving range for enhanced service, and increased equipment maintenance costs. We do anticipate an overall decrease in repair expenses this current fiscal year with the new golf cart fleet, which is set to arrive in the next week or so, and with the replacement of aging equipment in the kitchen as well. Despite these cost drivers, revenues were just under 1% from the prior fiscal year. Overall, the city net $1.24 million this past fiscal year. And in its 6th year of operation, the city remains committed to cultivating a strong partnership with Touchstone. Touchstone has proven to be an expert operator and has improved operations, aesthetics, efficiencies, and customer service. Touchstone offers excellent golf programs and dining experiences while generating steady revenue and successfully completing maintenance and improvement projects. And this concludes our report, and Sean and I are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Robbie, go ahead.
I picked the best time to join the Parks and Rec Board. I am Burbank's worst golfer. But you will see me up there with my clubs from Temu, golfing away. They are solid gold. They're gold looking. So I get stopped all the time by other golfers. Are those made of gold? No, but I'm a big fan of the driving range. And, you know, I have lived in Burbank a long time, and I have often said Hilltop is the best kept secret in our city. I don't know why. I don't know if people think you have to be golfing to go up there, to have lunch there, but man, it's awesome. And my regular job, I am a judge at the Pasadena Courthouse, and I have twice had our judges' holiday luncheon at Hilltop in the glassy room, and gosh, it's just awesome. I mean, the deer come right up, and they do such a great job. It's so classy and not very reasonably priced. I mean, gee whiz, I just wish there was a way to, drive, birthday parties and other stuff. And I've often thought it'd be a great place for high tea. Like, that's something that's so popular nowadays, and it's very expensive, and I don't think it's as expensive to put together as it looks with those teeny sandwiches. But it's so glassy and beautiful. Every time I'm up there, I just think, gee whiz, one of the best lunches you can have in the city. I'm always impressed. So just great job, you guys. I look for me with those solid gold clubs, and you'll say, oh boy, when you golf, you're watched. Unfortunately, it's coyotes that are watching you, but they are literally right there watching you play. They are fearless. Bad golfer or good golfer, they are right there. But congrats on a great job, you guys.
Thank you, Robbie. Anyone else? Go ahead. Thank you.
I echo his sentiments. Robbie did a good job there. We had the good fortune of having our second annual VFW 8310 Memorial Golf Tournament up there on the 27th. And last year, we were kind of just getting our feet wet, and DeBell was great, in helping us. And we had like 95 golfers. And so this year, we had the full 144 golfers, so it worked out great. But Beth and everybody, including yourself, had a really big impact on the success of what we did up there. Everything went like clockwork, due mainly to the DeBell staff. So I want to congratulate you guys. You made us all feel welcome. All the golfers had a great time. And I echo Robbie's sentiments. The restaurant's great food. I'm not sure what your hours are. Are they very consistent, or do they vary?
So Monday through Wednesday, it's open from 9 to 6, and then Thursdays through Sundays, it's open from 8 to 7.
Right. And at your tournaments, they do like we normally, like we did this past tournament, they bought pastry, coffee. That was all out there first thing. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Beth beat me up there. She was, and then the rest of our volunteers came. But getting it started and everything else, you guys just did a great job, and thank you. And I've heard the same thing about other people running tournaments up there.
Thank you.
The word is out that DeBell does it well. So thank you.
We have a great staff. Thank you.
I don't have anything about the actual course itself or the driving range. I mean, you guys just did the driving range. Looks great. The course, you know, I'm a weekend hacker at best, so for me, it's perfectly fine. I'm sure other, you know, high-end golfers have a thing here and there that they want to change, but for me, that's fine. My fellow board members brought up the Hilltop Restaurant. I wanted to talk about that just for a second. So, so I'll sit sometimes on a weekend. We don't have a lot going on. Well, typically we have a lot going on, but there might be a time where we don't have a lot going on, and we're like, middle of the day, I'm like, let's go to Hilltop because it's just very serene. You could sit out on the patio and just relax, have a beer, just hear the birds chirping. It's very nice. And I do think it's a hidden secret. And I have two wild suggestions. Whether or not that works, because ultimately it is a golf course. You have to be respectful that it's a golf course and people are golfing and stuff. But two wild suggestions, and you guys can tell me there's no way that would work, or we're just too busy with private events. But one would be to attract people, especially on weekends, on like, let's say a Friday night, Saturday, or Sunday, would be not saying turn it into a full sports bar, but add TVs outside, add TVs, and maybe do like college football Saturday, college, NFL Sunday. Right now you have the MLB playoffs. Maybe it's a place people can go. I'm not saying turn it into Buffalo Wild Wings, but like maybe it's a place people can go if they don't really want to go to the madhouse of a big sports bar, but it's a cool place they can go watch games. Like I've always thought about, it'd be cool to go get a couple buddies, let's go have a beer and watch the Laker game or whatever. So just a suggestion if there's a way to kind of make it a little bit more sports bar-y, if that allows.
Yeah.
And I'll let you respond before I forget. My other suggestion is weekdays, middle of the day, I'm sure kind of relatively empty, I'm assuming. So maybe there's obviously right now, like for me, for example, a lot of people work from home. Maybe it's an opportunity to attract work from homers where they can go there and like maybe there's a lunch special or a breakfast coffee special and there's a good Wi-Fi service and people can work, grab their laptop and just work from there. And like, it's a different place to go than being inside your house. I don't know if, again, two crazy, stupid suggestions, but I just thought I'd get your opinion on that and see if either of those would work.
No, I think those would be great suggestions. So we have talked about doing more sporting events up at the course. So that's something we are in discussion with doing, as well as kind of adding on to that, doing more community events. Like we just had a trivia night a couple weeks back. We're going to be doing another one coming up in November. We're going to be doing a Jeopardy style game show style trivia as well. We had a chess night, so we just set up chess boards and that type of thing. But as far as, I'll have to see if we're able to do something with TVs outside. But definitely having those sporting events on the evening would be great. And then when it comes to work from home, that's also a great idea. I mean, if you guys have been up there, I'm sure you know your cell service isn't very strong up there. We're working with AT&T to improve that. So once that kind of gets in the pipeline more, I think having a work from home situation at the restaurant and having lunch up there would be fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That concludes our new business. So now we'll move on to the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine by department staff and may be enacted on by the board by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless before the board votes on the motion to approve the recommendations, board members, staff, or public request specific items be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. Removed consent items will be discussed separately. Do we have a motion for the approval of the consent calendar? Okay. We second? Okay. We are, everyone in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Consent calendar approved. Do we have any tabled items to discuss? Nope. Okay. And board members, do we have anything else you guys want to bring up? Any other comments? No? Okay. Any introduction of new agenda items from any board members? No? Ms. Ms.
If
Coronado.
I may, just before we end the meeting, I wanted to do an official welcome to Park Board Member Brody. Although it's your second official meeting, I wanted to welcome you in this forum. We're really excited to have you, and we're really looking forward to all your contributions, so welcome.
Yes, thank you. Apologies that we didn't say it, but we met you at the last park tour, so I kind of figured that was the introduction, but this is the more formal, so welcome aboard. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. We're looking forward to all your contributions and comments and everything else you have to offer. And wisdom. Wisdom is a good one. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we will conclude this meeting and reconvene on November 14th. Thank you.